Hi Gemini, thanks for tuning in. This is going to be your reading for January 2020. Please join me here while I shuffle. Tune in with your higher self and guides. Ask them to connect to my higher self and guides so that we can create a feedback loop to make sure that the messages come through here are tailored for you. You may want to grab some headphones so that you can really focus and bring all of your presence to the reading. Minimize distractions going on around you. Please don't multitask while you're watching this reading. I want to make sure that you get the most out of your time here with me and you don't miss any of the messages that your higher self wants to pass along to you. So let's take a look at what's going on currently for Gemini. Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Okay. We have in the foundation of the reading the Lovers in reverse. At the heart of the reading, 5 of Pentacles crossed by Queen of Wands and 8 of Cups upright in the crowning card position of the reading. So along this central axis, we're looking at what's in the unconscious mind, what's unknown, and what's in the conscious mind, what is known. So I would say that probably for many people watching this reading, this could be about a relationship, given that we have the Lovers here. We also have the 6 of Cups in this position of the reading. So there could be some uncertainty, I feel, in your relationship at the moment with regards to the status. There could be some question around the stability or the validity of your union. This could also be in regards to a work partnership or any kind of person that's in your area who you might be relating to in a close way. It doesn't necessarily have to be a lover or a romantic relationship, but there's something here about there's 2 queens in the reading as well. They're both in reverse. The Queen of Wands is the crossing card here, and she's in reverse over the 5 of Pentacles. So give me a second here. There's an energy here of draining, like energy is going out somehow, like there's a feeling of being tapped, you know, or loneliness. That could also be what's here. With the 8 of Cups in the crowning position of this reading, you see this, you know, independent figure walking away from a situation, kind of in a mournful position. There could be some feeling of isolation or separation here. That could be what we're speaking about here with the Lovers in reverse. We could be dealing with a separation here, or some kind of like a moment that's significant where the individuals are maybe not relating very well. We also have in this reading Queen and King of Swords, and they're both in reverse in this reading. The King of Swords is certainly one of the cards nominated to be a Gemini archetype. So the Queen of Swords here could be your counterpart, and these could be switched in either direction. So, you know, we could say that we could see 2 individuals here who are not seeing eye to eye at this time. There could be some differences in opinion. There could be some, I'm hearing strategy. There's 2 5s in this reading as well, I've just noticed. There's a lot of swords in the reading. King and Queen of Swords are in reverse. You have 9 of Swords in reverse. Also 7 of Swords and 4 of Swords in reverse in the outcome. So I feel there could be overthinking at this time, or a lot of maybe some anxiety with regards to trying to problem solve or troubleshoot. There could also be difficulty in communication as well at this time. I'm hearing quest. I want to pull the bottom of the deck right now so I can get a little bit more information here. Page of Pentacles upright with 2 of Wands in reverse, Ace of Wands upright, and Emperor in reverse. There's also 10 of Swords here. I'm also going to pull that card. So a lot of Swords energy, as I've mentioned in this reading. The Emperor in reverse in this card, in this extension here, feels like your energy. I feel like you may be experiencing some difficulty in feeling stable and empowered around this time with regards to some kind of dissonance in your relationship with another person, again, whether it's a romantic partnership, you know, or a business partnership, or some individual that you deal with on a regular basis that's quite close to you, that's in your life on a you know, daily almost basis. It feels like there's some need for clearer communication. I feel that there is some, I'm hearing waking up. So what I'm getting here is that you could be waking up to maybe what has been your own unconscious behavior that may have been sort of somewhat sabotaging your relationship with not just this one person, but it's being highlighted here because this is the interaction that you have that is most triggering, because of the closeness, because of the intimacy of it. Yeah, this King of Swords, King of Cups, both in reverse, along with this Emperor in reverse. I feel like this is kind of, could be like sort of describing where you are at the moment, and it feels a little bit like, could be a little bit of a rough patch. Again, difficulty in communication, some emotional turbulence, some challenging aspects to deal with. And then what it feels like is there's a need to use this energy to investigate. Like you use this time to channel your energy into yourself rather than trying to outwardly perhaps try to resolve a situation or fix a troubling situation by trying to communicate with another person, although that could definitely be something that's needed here. I feel that this is more describing a need for here to kind of investigate within, like maybe put down the need to maybe overly communicate, because that is something I feel that Geminis have a tendency to do, maybe try to overly communicate at times. And I feel like what's needed here is quiet internal investigation to kind of figure out what it is that what it is that you need to resolve, right? Like how can you, we have the Death card here in the position of hopes and fear in reverse with the Ace of Pentacles upright. So this is kind of feeling like there is an opportunity here for a very like profound transformation inside of it, and the kind of difficult circumstances that you may be struggling within. But there is the potential here for a new beginning in your physical reality if you can kind of almost submit to this sort of heavy-handed transformation that you're being under pressure, like pressurized by. There is a possibility for benefit, right? Like there's also this Ten of Swords. There's another kind of death card here in a way. There's something that needs to end, and I feel like it has more to do with a behavioral pattern of yours, a way of operating, you know, like all these swords cards here are kind of like, feels like your operating system is needing an upgrade, and it requires your attentiveness to see, look at all these swords. These are all swords cards. So there's something about the way that you are probably mostly communicating internally that needs to be rewritten. Oh. Just a second. And again, there's these two characters in these two cards here that are walking away from something. It's not necessarily about walking away from a person or a situation. I feel like it's more about what kind of behavior or what kind of attitude or what kind of modus operandi is not serving you and hasn't been serving you for some time, that maybe like this situation here might be emerging as evidence of something that's not working. And there's a necessity here for you to kind of end a way of being, end a way of doing, end a way of thinking, and reorganize your psyche, your thoughts, your emotional energy, your patterns of conditioning to rearrange the way that you do things in general. I know that's kind of vague, but bear with me here. There's something also here with all the queens and kings in the reading, as well as the emperor, are all in reverse. that's telling me that there is a need for you to upgrade your emotional intelligence. Like, this is telling me there's something emotionally immature about the way you may be processing information or handling situations. Something that needs to be addressed there is like perhaps your approach to troubleshooting. I feel what's here also is that there may be something in what's going on right now where you might just be trying to kind of patch things over in a certain way. Like, you just maybe are trying to, I don't know why I can't speak right now. It's really hard to make a sentence. You might be trying to patch things up or trying to resolve a situation by making it look better and feel better by kind of like, it feels like patching something up, like just putting something on top of something that's damaged. In a way, trying to fix it. But what's underneath is something that needs an entire makeover. That's what I feel in this reading. 5 of Cups in reverse in the recent past, and 5 of Pentacles upright in the heart of the reading. So, again, we have another card with this sort of character with their back to us, with their head down, walking away from something, right? It feels to me like there is an indicator here that you maybe just need to understand that the way you've approached problems or troubleshooted problems in the past is not really working. And again, all these Queens and Kings in reverse feels to me like there's something perhaps a little immature or underdeveloped in the way that you may be approaching a situation or a problem that needs to be kind of viewed in a completely different way in order to actually kind of transform a situation and transform yourself fundamentally. Let's see what else is here. I mean, more meditation always is good. I feel with all these Swords cards, there's definitely like a clear and direct message from your higher self and guide saying like you cannot solve this situation by overthinking it. You cannot solve a problem by over communicating. And you cannot also mask or patch over an issue that's problematic that maybe has been repeating by deceiving yourself and another person through a kind of style of like just give me a sec, I'm looking for the right word. There's something about the Seven of Swords, like the traditional interpretation of the Seven of Swords is conceitedness, deception, theft, betrayal, right? And it's here in the outcome position of this reading. What it feels like to me is that you may be resorting to techniques that, like I've been saying, like there's something I hear about your methodology that needs to be worked over. You can't keep trying to patch things over and resolve something by talking your way out of it. That's what this feels like to me. There's a need to really address an entire system and get into the belly of it, into the operations system of it, and reprogram, like fundamentally reprogram, reorganize, recalibrate. Because I feel like this is something that's been happening. This is maybe just one moment he's showing up that is really familiar because you've been through similar things before. There's also here with the Page of Pentacles and this Two of Wands, Ace of Wands in this part of the reading where I feel like there could also be a need here for you to it's almost like going back, because the page, like the Kings and Queens are the more sort of evolved and mature archetypes of each element. The pages represent the child or the student. So being that the Page of Pentacles is here in this part of the reading, I feel like it's sort of an indicator that there could be a need here for you to approach the situation from the position of learning and growing and studying and making inquiries from the perspective of like being genuinely curious about something, and maybe not seeing it from your point of view where you may be just trying to make an environment be more calm and quiet. But there's something here about you needing to bring in endurance and patience and commitment to a process of healing that you may not have thought about before in this particular way. And it's also about choosing, you know, like there's a need here to choose, to desire, to want to evolve into this sort of emperor archetype, but in an upright, stable, and grounded way. Like right now, in the emperor in the reverse position is a bit manic, perhaps a little bit too controlling, along with this King of Swords and King of Swords, Queen of Swords, King of Cups, and Queen of Wands, all in reverse. These archetypes are all in a diminished state. They're not at their peak. They're a little bit immature. They're overly emotional, maybe temper tantrums, controlling, manipulative, you know, these kinds of things. Emperor as well, in the reverse position, he's a power-hungry, like dominant, overly controlling, somewhat manipulative character. So there's a need here for you to choose. You have to choose to want to evolve and develop your internal archetypes to be as their potential warrants, right? What's possible for you is shrouded in some drama and some inability to manage your emotions, to manage your situations and your environment. Yeah. And for some of you, you know, with all these swords cards here, particularly the 7 and 10 of swords and the 9 of swords, there could be something here about, you know, wounds from the past that have been not yet fully addressed. And so while you may not be aware of them being active in your reality, there could be that sort of triggering and flaring up of some old wounds that haven't really been integrated and resolved and healed and forgiven and accepted. And so some of what you could be experiencing here is really old stuff that just needs your attention, it needs your care, it needs your own nurturance. All right. But you have to choose. You have to choose healing, right? The 2 of Wands in reverse here is saying that you have to choose to do the right thing. You have to choose your own future, choose your own adventure, choose to make it as beautiful as you can. You know, right now it's in the reverse position, so it feels like you may be allowing yourself to accept a slightly disempowered position and are not fully taking responsibility for what you feel and what you experience and how that affects the people in your close environment. I'm going to leave it there for the general. Let's take the Voyager deck now and give the higher octave reading. So tune in with me again while I shuffle. The higher octave reading is designed to give a little bit more insight in what may be happening on a karmic and spiritual level. And hopefully through the Voyager deck, your guides might provide a little bit more practical insight on how best to work with the energies that are available, so we can make the most out of the lessons and the growing that we're experiencing. So send your energy into the deck. The sun at the foundation, at the bottom of the deck. Okay, 7 of Swords is here. This is the same card now. So this is very relevant. This is the card I was speaking about with regards to dishonesty, theft, betrayal, deception. So here it is in the center of this reading now, showing that this is a very relevant energy in your field right now that you are being asked to address. Crossed by the Strength card. Magician. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. 7 of Wands. 6 of Wands reversed. 9 of Pentacles reversed. 8 of Cups reversed. 3 of Cups. Judgment. Temperance reversed. Child of Wands. Empress, and Ace of Cups. A lot of major arcana energy in this reading. That's kind of an indicator to me that what you're going through right now is something very major in terms of your evolution, as far as like the things that you're processing and dealing with right now. I feel like if you really give your attention to what's going on here, it's gonna push you and elevate you into a major quantum leap in your development. And while it may be, you could be dealing with something quite painful, and it may be something that you've been dealing with for a long time. These same issues may be something that you have been working on for many years, maybe. I feel like this could be sort of somewhat of a final push for some of you with regards to a specific issue. Healing never ends though. Don't feel like, you know, if you're listening to this reading, you think like, oh, once I get through this, that's it, I'll be done. That's not how this works. Healing is forever, even beyond the physical body. So, Wheel of Fortune, reversed, Seven of Swords, crossed by Strength, and Magician. So, what this is telling me is that there is a lot of potential here for a really major breakthrough. There is something here with regards to you becoming more aware of how you're channeling your energy into situations and circumstances, and that what's challenging here for you, and what's something to work with in this particular situation is pride. I feel it's pride. Strength is the crossing card here. But that's not all there is here in this card. That's just what I feel right now in this moment. Magician and Fortune, they're both number 1, right? Like Magician is number 1, Fortune is 10. So there's something here about, like, very profound about how you are really invoking energy and channeling it through you, and the effect that that's having. So again, with this Magician card here and the Seven of Crystals, Magician can be a manipulative character. It's also a very empowered person, but it's what you do with that energy, right? Like if you're using your energy, if you're using your power, your magic to manipulate and control others, consciously or unconsciously, then that has a karmic effect. That's what the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here is saying, along with Judgment and Temperance in this reading. There is a karmic effect, and you may be perpetuating an unhealthy cycle because you're not being willing, maybe because of pride or maybe because of just lack of awareness, that the way you are behaving may be in some ways slightly manipulative. Now you might be watching this reading saying, fuck you, I'm the one that's being manipulated. And that might also be true. These readings can go either way. But what's also true is that it's probably a little bit of both, right? Like you may be being manipulated by someone, but you might also be manipulating. It's kind of like how things work, you know, you kind of tend to attract what you are, to play out some kind of like karmic patterns with the opportunity and potential for you to realize what's going on so that you can break those cycles. Now, Nine of Pentacles reversed with Ace of Cups reversed, and here Eight of Cups reversed with Empress. What did we have underneath? Six of Cups, Queen of Swords, King of Swords, Nine of Swords. Okay. This Eight of Cups actually we had at the crowning card position in the previous reading. So again, there's more repetition in this spread. What I feel here is that again, this energy of like overcomplicating things, over communicating, overthinking, trying to resolve a problem by like trying to fix a problem by maybe talking about it, or trying to fix a problem by thinking about it. You could be missing an opportunity to receive wisdom from your higher self because you are filling up the space too much. And yeah, that's kind of like basically what I feel here, is that there's a need for you to like rest a little bit more into the space of what's happening, even if it's uncomfortable. Just like kind of surrender to it. That's what Temperance is saying there, along with the Judgment card. There's a need for you to really surrender to the energies that you're feeling and stop trying to fix it by thinking about it or by talking about it. You need to go quiet within and investigate from the space of leaving yourself open to the wisdom that your higher self wants to reveal to you. And the answers will be there if you just create that space. It's a healing time. There's a lot of opportunity in what you're experiencing here to actually really solve a deep mystery that maybe for some of you has been plaguing you for most of your life. And again, we have another page in this reading. We have Page of Wands now. Previously we had the Page of Pentacles. Again, it's bringing me this energy of there's a need for you to kind of embody a state of genuine inquiry and like return to a space of like not knowing, so that you can actually be available to answers arising within you, right? This is the student mind. This is the beginner's mind. It's a humility as well, like overcoming some of this prideful energy and just like maybe accepting that you don't know, and in that moment you actually open yourself up to receiving answers and understanding. Seven of Wands here in the past, coming through this axis of the reading. Again, telling me that this is a time where a lot of courage is required for you to actually undertake this part of your journey here, where you're being asked to really surrender and submit to difficult circumstances in order to grow in awareness and understanding. And there is as I said again, with the Six of Wands here in the outcome, with Judgment, Temperance, Magician, there is a lot of potential here for healing. But there is, again, in this reading, this reading is quite different from the previous reading. The other reading had a lot of swords in it. There's no swords in this reading at all, except for that Seven of Swords at the heart of the reading. It's the only swords card. The rest of what's going on here is a lot of major arcana and some wands. So that's telling me, again, as I said, there's a need. First of all, this is a massive opportunity for you to perhaps break a very long karmic chain of some type of pattern that has been showing up again and again, triggered through different relationships or different environments that you've been in, different circumstances, which has been very challenging and troubling. There's a big opportunity here for you to kind of overcome an old cycle and break through into a different time of life where you can experience things in a really different way. So bottom of the deck, we have Sun, Ace of Wands reversed. So we have another repeating card. Queen of Pentacles reversed and Queen of Wands upright. Okay. What I feel here, again, because we had so many swords in the first reading, and here there's only the one, and with all this feminine energy coming out here, and there's a lot of fire energy as well in this reading, I feel like there's an indicator here that, I've been saying it already, but this energy of these two queens here is like very receptive. I feel like there's a need for you to, like, again, overcome that masculine quality of wanting to problem solve and troubleshoot and communicate and fix something, and just embody a more receptive space where you can actually just be in your feelings and in the emotions of what is going on, without judging, without trying to change anything, but just feeling and experiencing things and sitting in that energy and opening yourself up in a state of pure receptivity to receive guidance from your own internal wisdom. I feel that's it for your reading here. Let me just check. This Temperance and Judgment is interesting here. There is definitely like a new day dawning. If you can, again, embody this energy I've been describing here with regards to a kind of submission to what you're going through without trying to change it or break it down or fix it or solve it or communicate about it, but just like really submit to it and let yourself experience that kind of burning up energy, like this fire of the Sun and the Ace of Wands and even the Strength card. It feels like there's a purifying energy that's happening, like kind of through the trial by fire type of, it's like an initiation you're going through. And you, for right now, I feel like for a lot of you watching this, you may not be able to even see at all like what this is about. It might be very shrouded and kind of confusing for you. But Temperance is a key part of this reading. Temperance is about being equanimous and calm no matter what, you know, and that can be really difficult to do in difficult circumstances, but it is a really key element to moving gracefully through difficult circumstances, and it is actually a really key part in your own healing as well. Also with this Strength card here, there is a very, I think the Strength card in the Major Arcana, it's number 11 as well, so there's more of this 1, 1, 1, 1 energy. There's like Something very transformative here. The Strength card for me is a very sublime energy. It connects me to Durga from the Hindu pantheon because of the lion. If you know anything about the Hindu gods and goddesses, Durga is one of the it's the feminine aspect of Shiva, and it's the part of the essence of her is sort of this wrathful, destructive force, but it's full of compassion. So what that feels to me like in this reading is that there is a type of breakdown that's happening where that energy of wrathful compassion is coming through in your experience. And there is also, like with this all this divine feminine energy in your reading, a lot of healing coming from source, from the divine feminine, from your own wisdom that is wanting to be expressed and heard by you. And I feel like there's just too much clutter and too much, overthinking and over communicating that may be inhibiting some of that pure information and wisdom accessing you. And I've said that already a few times in this reading. So I'm going to leave it there. Gemini, I hope you found some things in there you can work with. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next reading.